Groblowskis get up here. We're going to have them lighting candles, right?
It says on the page, God said, let there be light.
And this is very effective. Bernie, we'll get your whole crew up here. May the Shabbat candles that we now light inspire us to see justly and gently, look honestly and with kindness, and to see what's holy in each other. Let me see. Nice.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. We'll turn to our prayer books to page 4 at the bottom of the page. Hinei ma tov. How good and pleasant it is for all of us to be together.
And take a look around this room. It is good to be here with all of these beautiful people on this Shabbat evening. So please take just a moment to introduce yourself or say Shabbat Shalom to someone who's sitting nearby. Or you can wave if you're not that close to someone. That's okay too.
Wow.
Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine
ma tov shevet achim gam yachad.
Hine
ma tov shevet achim gam yachad.
Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, yalalai, yalalalalai. Hine ma tov, yalalai, yalalalalai. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Paul, I almost introduced you as the Sabbath bride, so you have to sit down. That's coming up. It's coming up. No, actually not. We'll change that.
Got to take it up with
Right. Let's turn to page 8 in our prayer books. We'll continue with the family prayer. May we never take for granted the gift of Shabbat as we sit nestled in the Rocky Mountains, sharing this humble moment with family and friends. The action of celebrating Shabbat hearten our spirits, and let Shabbat peace bring quiet to our souls. Allow this time set aside for song and prayer to bring us closer together in thoughts and deeds. Share become our place of devotion, glowing with reverence and filled with our tradition. And may the end of this week encourage us to examine our actions and let us look ahead toward the new week, be worthy of all of God's blessings. The top of page 8 as we welcome the angels of peace. Join with the cantor, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Upon arriving in Jerusalem, the pilgrims lifted their eyes and saw the mountains of Jerusalem. And they cried out, I lift my eyes to the mountains. From where does my help come? We have our own mountains that we're always lifting our eyes to, and so grateful to be here. Page 12 at the top of the page as we join together.
Sinai el Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Sinai el Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, Ose Shamayim Ba'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai, Ose Shamayim Ba'aretz. Sinai el Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Sinai el Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, Ose Shamayim Ba'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai, Ose Shamayim Ba'aretz.
And as we travel back to the 16th century, to the town of Sfat, the center of Jewish mysticism, where Shlomo Alkabetz composed the beautiful poem, page 16, Lecha Dodi, as we join together.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, v'nei p'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, v'nei p'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, v'nei p'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmiyanu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'litchila, lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki yehi mekor ha'baracha, Merosh mikedem nisilcha. Sof ma'aseh מחשבה תחילה,
לה 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 לך דודי,
לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי צי מתוך האפך, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייכם לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה.
The bottom of page 18, we rise, face the rear of the sanctuary as we greet the Sabbath bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה.
May be seated. When we first came in, someone said, is there something going on tonight? Well, it is Shabbat, but I think what's going on is all of you, it's wonderful to see so many of you joining us tonight, this beautiful evening, a little hint of fall in the air. We don't want to say too much, it's still August. But we're going to continue on page 92, on page 21 with Psalm 92, the beautiful psalm of the Sabbath day recited for the first time in Jerusalem in temple times. Let's continue responsively. It is good to give thanks to you, O Lord, to praise your name through song, to speak in the morning of your loving kindness, your faithfulness each night, the music of the lute and the harp, melody of the lyre, I'll sing with my delight as we continue the bottom of page 20.
Tzadika tamar yifrach
Ke'erez Lebanon yizkeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafri.
All right, a little louder.
Od yenu b'seva v'shenim v'ra'ananim yiyu hagid ki yashar Adonai Boy, we'd almost think everybody went to the same shul growing up, that we all knew the same tune. That was wonderful.
Wow.
We're going to turn in our prayer books, page 23, as we travel back to 1921, the Boston Globe, where we have Just for Today. And it's not just for today, but it's really for tomorrow for your special birthday. I know. If you'll lead us just for tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Just for today, I will live one day only, forgetting yesterday and tomorrow, and not trying to solve the whole problem of life at once.
No. Just normal.
Just for today, I will adjust myself to what is, and not try to adjust everything to suit me. If I cannot have what I like, I will try to like what I have.
Just for today, I'll be agreeable, cheerful, charitable, do my best, praise people for what they can do, not criticize them for what they cannot do, and if I find fault, I'll forgive it and forget it. Try not to improve nor regulate anybody but myself.
Just for today, I will have a plan. I may not follow it exactly, but I will have one. It will save me from worry, hurry, and indecision.
Just for today, I'll get people off my nerves and not get on theirs. Appreciate them for what they do and what they are.
Just for today, I will not show it if my feelings are hurt.
Just for today, I'll find a little time for quiet to relax, realize what life is and can be. Time to think about God and get a better perspective of myself.
Just for today, I will look at life with fresh eyes and discover the wonder of it. I will know that as I give to the world, so the world will give to me.
Thank you. Well, in this Shabbat, we lift our hearts to you, eternal God, for days and years as we thank you for the precious years of gift that you have been blessed. As we gather today to share in the happiness of your birthday, standing before you with your friends and surrounded by dear ones, we bless you, health and happiness as we join together.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Debbie.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. We return to our prayer books, page 24, as we rise and join together our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalalai lai yalalai lai yalalai lai yalalai lai yalalai lai yalalai lai yalalai lai.
You may be seated. Let's turn to the back of our prayer books. It's one that includes so many people, and we have all of you to help us in singing this in a round. Page 74, Ozi v'Zimrat Yah. We don't have anyone that I'm going to hand the microphone on this side.
I'll just sing both of the parts at the same time. It's fine.
Okay. Page 74.
Ozi v'Zimrat Yah Vayehi li lishua. Ozi v'Zimrat Yah Vayehi li lishua. Beautiful. Ozi v'Zimrat Yah Vayehi li lishua. Ozi v'Zimrat Yah Vayehi li lishua.
I got this.
All right, just you, all of you.
Ozi v'Zimrat Yah Vayehi Lishua.
Ozi.
Ozi. Vezimrat Yah. Vayehi. Lishua.
Right now you do the Ozi. Ozi. Vezimrat Yah. Vayehi. Lishua. Ozi. Ozi. Vezimrat Yah. Vayehi. Lishua. Now you do Ozi. Ozi. Vezimrat Yah. Vayehi. Lishua. Ozi. Ozi. Vezimrat Yah. Vayehi. Lishua.
Thank you. Got your High Holiday Choir right here.
yeah.
Nobody goes home. Well, let's turn to page 28 in our prayer books at the bottom of the page as we look around and see all of God's wondrous creations. As we join together on this Shabbat Eve, we take in the greatness of God's creations. As the snow melts from the mountain peaks on high, let our worries of the week flow away. And as the mountain springs give forth fresh water, let our souls feel refreshed. Creeks join streams and become the great rivers. Let our faith and love grow strong. And as we stand in awe of the great beauty of the Rocky Mountains, let our faith in God increase and renew. And let this be a time of peace. Amen. Page 30 as we join together.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha Bechol levavcha uvchol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech Uvshachtecha, uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uisharecha, leman tizkeru, vasitem et kol mitzvotai, vitem kedoshim leloechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
On this Shabbat evening, as we seek peace and comfort, shield us from the hatred and destruction that plagues so many corners of our world and console those in need. Shomer Yisrael, guardian of Israel, we call out to you with prayer to protect the men, women, and children brutally kidnapped by Hamas and held captive in Gaza now for 321 days, along with the members of the IDF missing in action or held captive. Well, may it be your will speedily and soon to bring them out from darkness and the shadow of death. Give continued strength to the IDF to do all that must be done, to deliver them from danger and back to the loving embrace of their dear ones. So may the verses from Isaiah ring true. Those delivered by God will be returned. They will enter Zion with everlasting joy. The top of page 34 as we join together, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu lecha the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu malkeinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu malkeinu lechaim.
And as we read in the book of Exodus, in 6 days the Lord created the heavens and the earth. The seventh day he ceased from his work and rested. Page 36 is when we join together, Vishamru.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
Beini,
Uvein,
B'nai
Yisrael, Oti, Leolam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim bet haaretz. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash. Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
Well, that will keep you awake. It's beautiful. Thank you. For those in our community who are in need of healing, of body, mind, or spirit, if you have a person in your life in need of healing, please feel free in just a moment. Share their name aloud as we continue with our prayer for healing, page 38, Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say,
offer blessings for full healing to Gail Balin, Sue Beiser, Dennis Deutsch, Carol Ann Finn, Jane Friedman, Kathy Futernick, Deborah Goldman, Mark Roblowski, Lori Hellman, Mike Herman, Jody Israel, Re'ea Ivry, Donald Jaffe, and Harriet Jaffe, Mary Sue Katz, Herman Keek, Judith Landau and Pam Lessing, Renee Myers, Elsa Reese, Stephen Reese, and Bill Silvers. B. Sklarowitz, Dina Stempler, Donna Weinstock, Jerry Weinstock, and Mickey Winokur. Thank you.
Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn to page 40 in our prayer books and rise as we continue with the Reader's Kaddish.
Yitkadav yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Yamati v'rak yirtei v'yamlich malchutei.
V'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagala bagala uv'izman karev.
V'yimeru.
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach Le'alam u'lam meho maya yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach. Yitpa'ar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal. Shemei dekutsha.
Brechu.
Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata.
Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran B'yalma.
V'yimeru.
Amen. Be not afraid of silence. It's more powerful than the unpolished word. It allows God's voice to be heard. It allows tears and doubt to tumble out. Page 42 at the top of the page as we continue, and then silently through page 57.
Adonai sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory.
may be seated when you've completed the Amida. WD. And many people shall go and say, "Come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, the house of the God of Jacob, and God will teach us his ways as we walk in his paths." The beautiful prayer found on page 54 at the top of the page, composed by Cantor Jeff Klepper and Rabbi Dan Friedlander, was written in the midst of the Yom Kippur War. And even today, it is our prayer for peace as we join together. Shalom Rav.
Thank you. I'm going to do one by a different composer tonight. I love the Jeff Klepper one too. All right, so repeat after me. We're in the middle of page 54, the middle of the third paragraph where it says, Bechol eit uvechol sha'ah, in every moment and in every hour. It goes like this. Bechol eit uvechol sha'ah. That's it, let's try it. Bechol eit uvechol sha'ah. Good. Bechol eit uvechol sha'ah. Keep going. Bechol eit uvechol sha'ah. Bechol eit uvechol sha'ah. Try that without me. Good, keep going. Source of peace, guide us through the season. Source of peace, and through every hour. Source of peace, guide us through the season. Source of peace. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav. Just like that. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav. Bechol eit. Ready? Bechol, source of peace, guide us through the season. Source of peace, and through every hour. Source of peace, guide us through the season. Source of peace.
Our prayer for peace. Well, it's hard to believe when looking at the calendar that Rosh Hashanah is just 34 days away. But one of the messages that the holiday teaches us is to remember the broken fragments of life and then to fix and preserve them. We learn it throughout the holidays, but each of us as well has the capacity we also learn to use our resources to repair the many fragments that we see broken around the world. Well, at the weddings that I perform, I discuss the sacred bond of marriage. As the ceremony reaches the close of the ceremony, we know that then glass is broken. Well, to symbolize the fragile nature of the world and the fragility of love and marriage, this is a ritual act that puts, I think, perfection into perspective. Family relationships may not always be harmonious. Relationships between nations, there may be some struggles. but we all have to work together in relationships to resolve our differences. So many of us, well, we value our cell phones, our computers, our big televisions that we all have. Still, we don't even wait until they break, usually, to go out, discard them, as they become obsolete and replace them, even though they still might be working. Well, the common rationale that we often tell ourselves is it's just too expensive to even bother repairing it. Why not just buy a new one? Well, thousands of years before cell phones and computers and all the other stuff that we have that we trade in, our rabbis passed down what I think is a beautiful tradition found within Judaism. And it's based on the story that even when Moses smashed the first set of tablets into pieces after coming down from Mount Sinai, the broken fragments and the dust was gathered, placed in the ark right next to the second set of tablets. And I think perhaps that's the origin of the tradition that as Jews we never discard anything that is holy or has the name of God written on it. So our ancestors were very careful readers of the sacred Torah. There was no room for error in any written Torah, no extra letters, no extra words in the Torah. There's no repetition of divine laws or rules. The scroll was considered to be a holy object. To ritually bury these items, prayer books, Bibles, even a Torah, old talitot, anything that bears the name of God, well, we place them in what's called a geniza, which is a sacred repository. We store them away for eternity. They're never taken out again. They're really not viewed upon again. It's out of a sign of reverence and respect for what we have just placed in this geniza. They may no longer be functional, but to all of us, we know that they're still precious. So this important mitzvah, which we'll be performing next week, it's a time-honored teaching fundamental within Judaism to take care of these precious items and place them in our geniza. Well, soon, together, we're going to be chanting the high holiday prayers. And one that's very special, we repeat over and over again, it's Shema Kolenu. It says, do not forsake someone when their strength eludes them. Well, Rabbi Yehuda, from the 2nd century, he reminds us that a person with diminished abilities deserves the same love and respect as they had in earlier years. And if we remember the value that Judaism places upon revering holy books and ritual objects, they then say, 2,000 years ago, how much the more so should we cherish people? Well, Rabbi Judah went on to teach that both the whole tablets and the fragments of the Ten Commandments, well, they were placed in the ark together. This serves to reinforce the teaching that the elder who has forgotten his learning is shown the same respect as the scholar who is in full command of his knowledge. So even the greatest leader, think about this, the teacher of the Jewish people, Moses, he lost his mental capacities in the twilight of his life. But our rabbis 2,000 years ago explain that God took away his strength, preventing him from the ability to lead the children of Israel. Yet, despite that, he's always known as Moshe Rabbeinu, our teacher. Moses, our teacher, and he was called this until the day of his death. When we think about another concept within Judaism called Tikkun Olam, it's the repairing of the world, it reminds us that all Jews are challenged to be a mender, not to be the one who discards that which no longer works. That's why we have our geniza. We're menders and we're a partner with God in completing his creation. So as the difficult year draws to a close, I think it's fair to say that there are many things that cause us to be quite pessimistic in life. Still, if we preserve the memory and the feelings of what it meant to be broken, thinking back on those 10 commandments, then we can develop greater empathy and understanding because we've been there. We can have greater empathy and understanding for those that suffer as we might have, and then channel that energy to repairing, helping, and being a source of strength to others. Well, next week, as we place these hundreds and hundreds of notes written as a message to God, and they're removed from our Jerusalem wall, which is just down the street at the hospital, they're going to be placed into our geniza. We continue to follow that ancient tradition, and why? Because we have to preserve both which was shattered and the whole pieces of our daily lives together. And we bring these together. And we do so. We offer the New Year's prayer for a better and hopefully less broken year and tomorrow. Amen. Not as many announcements as June, but we do have a few things still coming up from the president of our congregation, Stephen Wellens.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you all for coming. A lot of my friends, and this time of year, my wife and everybody seems to get a little upset and sad when it looks like the summer's ending. But for me, it's really the beginning of the most important season, and that's football season, because I'm growing up in Florida. Right. And there's no better tradition than the pregame for the football. So Debbie, thank you for coming to pregame routine and using it for your birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, my dear friend. Love you. And Joel and Janice, thank you for coming and celebrating with them this weekend. I know it means a lot to them. But we do have a lot left on the table to do. Next week at the Little Beach in Minturn, down below the cemetery, we're going to have the Vail Breakfast Bar at 9 a.m. on the 29th. And then at 10 o'clock, the memorial service at the Geniza will. So if you've got things you want to put into our Geniza, please bring them, gather them. It's an important tradition that we preserve our Jewish traditions and our artifacts and our Torahs and old things that we never want to get rid of. It's a great opportunity to do that. Secondly, we have just about 34 days from now, we're going to start the high holidays. And we've got a lot planned. There is a bulletin up here. Please make sure if you're going to come to any of the events that require signing up, please go on our website or look at our newsletter. There'll be sign-ups there for the member luncheons. And, of course, we have Break the Fast at the end. We've got a wonderful, wonderful high holiday season planned for you all, and I hope that you all stay here. You bring your family. I know that many years ago we stayed for the high holidays for the first time and didn't go to our synagogue that we've been for 30 years. We've never missed it since, and we've been here, I think, about 12 straight years, or 11 straight years since our wonderful rabbi joined us. So I welcome you all to come. If you want to participate in the high holidays, Jana will be reaching out. She'll have a list for ways that you might want to participate. It will be at Villar this year. We'll be back at Villar next year, obviously, because it's late in the year and it's cold, and we want to make everybody comfortable. But it is a beautiful place. The music, I promise you, will be amazing. Rabbi's working on his sermons. And with that, anything else you need?
We're good.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We're so excited. We have our Machane B'nai Vail, our religious school program, starting in just a couple days. This Sunday, we have so many incredible teachers this year. We brought seven B'nai Vail educators to a Jewish Educators Conference this year in San Diego, and we were the largest contingency. B'nai Vail sent the largest contingency to this conference, which was really incredible. Everyone was so impressed by our students and how engaged they were. They used to have this Madrachim program, which is like their helper program for their teens, and I was like, our teens are our teachers. They're not teachers' aides. They are teaching the classes, and people were just so impressed with them, and we're so excited to get them all into the classroom on Sunday. And
welcome to so many of you. I'm glad when you decide to stop in and drop in and be with us. I know we follow very strictly your 7:30 dinner reservation, so we're always going to let you out of here. It's not a problem. But it's wonderful to see so many of you, and safe travels to Israel, Ernie. That's okay. Safe travels and come back safely as well. And Ross and Patsy, it's always great to see you. It all started in your living room in your home in Denver when I said, what would you think about joining the Navy? And then all of a sudden I did, and then 25 years later, it was a great experience. So thank you for being here and joining back with us, and so many of you. And you're president of the shul. That's very impressive to have you with us, too. We could have you making some of these announcements. But we also have something that the cantor and I were just planning today for October 7th. And Denver has a big thing at Temple Emmanuel. They're bringing everybody together. We're not going to be going in. So we thought, what would be better to represent Israel and to have that quiet moment to go to the Jerusalem wall that we have at the hospital. So we're working out the timing and when you would go, and we'll have music and we'll have some prayers and just a chance also to place another note in that wall for us. And If you were there for Tisha B'Av, it was an incredible experience for the 9th of Av to be there. So we look forward to that.
Yeah. And Helene and I were just gushing before the service about the concert on Wednesday. Thank you to everyone who came out to that. It was like one of the most incredible moments of my life, and I appreciate everyone that was there, and I really appreciate everyone who's contributed to the album so far, and I still have a little bit to go, and so if anyone else wants to make a contribution, come see me or Seth after the service. I would be really grateful. I just have a little bit left. Albums are really expensive to produce, so I would appreciate that so much if you would consider contributing.
Let's turn to page 60 and rise as we join together Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shaveach la'adon hakol, la'tet gidula le'otzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
At this moment, in memory of our loved ones who are no longer with us, we join hands in love and remembrance. A link has been broken in the chain that bound us together, yet strong bonds of home and love hold us one to another. In solemn testimony to that unbroken faith which links the generations one to another, we call to mind those whose yahrzeit we observe this month. Adele Abrams, Mark Albert, Charles Barrison, Jack Balin, Francis Cerny, Ruth Cohen, Joe Corbin, Cantor, Stephen Duboff, Richard Eisel, Lillian Ettinger, Irving Fielden, Jay Fishman, Beatrice Fliegelman, H. Mitchell Fox, Bernice Doris Garland, Fred Goldsmith, Louis Grossman, Jerome Heffer, Yvette Held, Emil Hess, Teresa Exosa, Eileen Joseph, Ida Kahn, Henry Kahn, Susan Kaufman, Saul Kaufman, and Dorothy Keller, Felix Landau, David Landau, Sylvia Lantzman, Arthur Langsam, Joseph Lefkoff, Leo Levy, Samuel Levine, Ermi Lindenfeld-Heller and Florian Linz, Beverly Lopatin, William Benjamin Marks and Michael Marks, Bernard Melvin Shapiro, Joanna Minnie, J. George Mitnick, and Pauline Moret, Rita Smith, Robert Morris, Sarah Mossman, Claire Numeroff, Dorothy Nurek Landau, Erwin Raymer, Martin Rosen, Lillian Rosenblatt, Leah Rothenberg, Shep Salperstein, Judy Schechner, Ernest Scheller III, Morris Shore, Edwin Aaron Schwartz, and William Sigmund, Donald Steinberg, Mitcher Stenzel, Leonard Stern, Wynn Tanchel, David Waldman, Ken Weiner, Morris Wetcher, Donna Winger, Pauline Wolf, and Julius Wolfen. And if anyone else is observing yahrzeit this month.
Gary Cohn.
Thank you. The mourner's Kaddish can be found in our prayer books on page 64, and those who wish may join with us as we say, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah, v'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman kari v'imbramein. Yehesh me rabba mevarach le'olam u'me'omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'elamin kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imramein. Yehesh shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imramein. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imramein.
Amen.
You may be seated. Turn to page 66 in our prayer books, and we have the beautiful prayer and song of Adon Olam written in the 11th century And I can guarantee you the tune will not be coming from the 11th century.
It won't, but where will it be coming from? What should we do? Was that a suggestion already or just okay? Any Adon Olam requests tonight?
It's not going to be Backstreet Boys like we did last week. That was
We did.
at a bar mitzvah.
No?
Traditional.
Whose tradition? Which one? Which one do you like? Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ein Asa V'chesed Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Me'acharei Kichlot Hakol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Oveh Ve'hu Yiyeh V'tivara Ve'hu Echad Ve'en Sheni Lehamshilo Le'achbira Li Reshit Li Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamizra Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Goali Ve'tzorchem Li Ve'etzara Ve'hu Nisi Umanos Li Ve'nat Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Be'ado Afkid Ruchi Be'eti Sham Ve'ayira Ve'imruchi Geviati Adonai Li Ve'lo Ira.
Piper, is that you hiding back there? This is your last night with us. She was with us the whole summer,
Oh no!
setting up the food, cleaning up after us and everything. She's heading off to Walla Walla, Washington to go back to school. Thank you for all you did this summer, and we hope you'll come back next summer. We rise for a closing blessing. Adonai oz li amo yitain, Adonai v'rech et amo v'shalom. May the Lord grant strength unto his people and bless all peoples with peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pori hagafen l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
Shabbat shalom.
Yalla la la